If you're struggling with self-improvement, or if you're struggling with starting a project and you keep failing at it and you keep failing at it for years, just somehow found yourself failing at achieving a project that, like, you like this project, you want to succeed at it, but you just somehow find yourself not doing the work, and years goes by and you're just find yourself failing and getting more disappointed in yourself, and you keep hating yourself. What is the actual cause of this problem? It is your mental health. The key to most of the success you want in your life is your mental health. Because think about it. Most of the projects that you're probably working on don't require much of like manual labor work. If it does require manual labor work, you could do that. That's easy. I mean, what's the difference between you and someone successful? You have two hands, two eyes, two ears, you have a mouth, you have two legs. Like, what's the difference? Same physical body. The only difference is their mindset. You might say, oh, but the environment, and they're lucky, and no. Because if you use your mind right, if you make the right decisions, you can change environment. You can acquire things. You can do so much if you have the right mindset. Now, imagine this analogy. Imagine if you have a buggy computer and you want to do some graphics design, like 3D modeling, like Photoshop, video editing, stuff like that. But the processor of this computer is shit. It's dysfunctional. Do you think you would accomplish anything on this computer besides just like simple tasks? Exactly. You will accomplish like very little tasks. And whenever you try to do something big, something requires a lot of CPU, your computer crashes and resets, and the whole project just gets deleted automatically. And that could just happen, and you think this is like normal, like this is I gotta fucking work hard, like, yeah, this is just part of work, it just has to be this way. No. What if I told you it does not have to be this way? What if I told you that, sure, look, you could work your ass off on this problem, like with a shitty computer. It would be extremely frustrating, extremely challenging. It would be just impossible. You can't like use like Photoshop on a computer that is like, it's a terrible, processor. You're not gonna do that. It's gonna be super, super difficult, and you keep failing. You think, oh, I just gotta put in a lot of work, and you keep getting more frustrated. Like, it's just not gonna work. You're not you're not doing it right, okay? I know hard work is important, but there is a problem that needs to be fixed. Put the hard work on fixing that problem. You're putting hard work on nothing. You're not gonna fix the problem. You're just making it worse. Make sure imagine you're using a hammer and you try to open a screwdriver with a hammer. You're not gonna open the screw, the screw with a hammer. You keep hammering and hammering. You're gonna destroy the thing, right? Use the right tools. Use the right tool. Working hard is not just about like putting and just doing stuff, and make sure you're doing the right things. Okay? Work hard, work smart. If you have there's a screw, you have to use a screwdriver to, unscrew that. You can't use a hammer. It's not gonna, do anything. It's gonna make things worse. So, you probably have symptoms of depression and anxiety. What do you have to do now? First of all, you probably don't believe that you have depression and anxiety. Like me, I just thought like, yeah, depression and anxiety. I don't think I have depression. Like, yeah, I do feel, maybe sometimes I feel depressed, and yeah, I'm anxious around people, but what has this anything to do with my work? How is anxiety, I'm not feeling anxious when it comes to like working on my project. How's depression has anything to do with, working on a project? I don't feel depressed. I just have a different problem. But you see, you don't understand what depression and anxiety is. You have like a very naive, shallow notion of what anxiety is. You think anxiety is just like nervousness when you go and talk to people like that. You think anxiety is just triggered by socializing. You think that Depression is just you feeling super sad and super depressed, and you just can't move and do anything, right? Like that shallow, very, simplistic, image of what depression and anxiety is. No, it's more subtle. It's usually like sometimes minor, sometimes very obvious, but it's usually like, for example, you're trying to work on your project, and you just start procrastinating because that project is overwhelming. Because it is overwhelming, and because your mind is a very anxious mind, you start procrastinating. You start cleaning your room, or maybe making, you go eat something, or maybe you feel sleepy, or you go jerk off or watch videos, or somehow you just start not doing the work. You just do some other things. Or when you're feeling depressed, you're working on the project, but you're just feeling unhappy, you feel depressed, you feel unmotivated, you feel bored, you just don't want to do the work, you just feel demotivated. Imagine how significant that is. Imagine how this could affect your project. If you feel just unmotivated, if you just feel bored, you think, I'm just gonna discipline myself, just go do the work, and even if I don't feel like doing it, I'm just gonna do it. Okay, that's good, but if your mind is sick, if you're like ill, let's say you're physically ill, physically injured, you're not gonna accomplish much if you're sick and you keep forcing yourself. Because the problem is not that you're lazy. The problem is it's that you're mentally ill. Okay? You're mentally ill. Doing it, just forcing yourself to do it. Sometimes that is what needs to be done if you don't have depression and anxiety, if you're just feeling lazy. Now, how do you know if you have depression and anxiety? There is a link below I'm gonna put in the description. Go for it, take depression and anxiety test, and see your scores. If your scores are high, if it is like 70%, 80%, like they don't give you like percent, they give you like some number out of 20, 21, or I don't know why they do this shit, but it is, you turn those into percentages, and it's gonna be fucking, if it's huge, then man, you just gotta fucking see a therapist. That shit is significance, right? If you have minor symptoms, that's still gonna affect your work. For me, my depression anxiety was 70 to 80%, and I took this test like multiple times, like every month I take this test. My depression is fucking major. It's, I don't know, 80%, I don't remember exact number, but it's like 80, 70, and anxiety is like 70s. It's fucking huge number. And that has affected my work. I'm telling you, I have tried to force myself to work hard on so many endeavors. I tried to work hard, like I tried that shit, and I keep trying for 5 years. I've been trying. It doesn't work. I just find myself procrastinating and feeling depressed and procrastinating, and I just don't feel like doing the work, and I keep procrastinating, and I don't know, I just feel depressed. I don't feel like doing the work, and I never like I didn't really took my mental health seriously until like, so I saw some YouTuber, his name is Hamza, he's a great YouTuber. He told me that maybe it's my mental health, and I didn't believe him. Like, okay, my mental health, like I said, yeah, that's maybe that is the cause, but I wasn't convinced. Like, yeah, I agreed with him, I believed him, but I didn't really buy it. Like, my behavior hasn't changed. It's just that I believe him, but nothing has changed. I still, not take it seriously, right? You're probably gonna hear this and you kind of agree with it. You think it's kind of like interesting and maybe it is important, but man, you're probably gonna ignore it. You're not gonna take it seriously, right? That's the problem. That's the fucking problem. You see, I mean, if I've been trying this shit for 5 years, for 6 years, since like 2017, 2016, I've been trying this shit and it doesn't work. I try to work on so many endeavors, it doesn't work. Even in school, I try to like It doesn't work. I'm not productive. Why forcing myself doing this? It get worse when I try to force myself to do things because of depression and anxiety. It get worse. Now I'm not saying you discipline yourself is not important. Discipline is extremely important. But if you have mental health problem, discipline isn't gonna fix anything. Maybe it's just gonna make things worse. What you need is to fix. Actually, what you need is to use the discipline and to use the hard work on fixing your mental health. Right? Remember, working smart. YouTubers told you like you have to work smart. Work hard, but work smart. Right? You don't want to work hard, but not working smart. So work smart. That means you have to fix the problem that needs to be fixed. Like, what's the one thing that if I worked on, everything else will be easy or unnecessary, right? Like, I took this from the book The One Thing. It's a great book. I think you should maybe read it. So this book talks about doing one thing, the one thing that will make everything easy or unnecessary, because you could do so many things, like the hammer example, right? Let's say you're working your ass off to unscrew that fucking screw, right? And you work your ass off, you keep hammering the shit out of it, but it's not gonna get unscrewed. You can't unscrew it. You're just gonna ruin it, right? But if you use the right tool, which is the screwdriver, you're gonna actually unscrew that that screw, or screw it, right? Without any it's not gonna be difficult. You only need hammer. You just like that, screw it, and bam, problem fixed. Right? Or maybe you want to cut. Let's say you want to cut a wire. You make sure you use the right tool. You can't use a screwdriver to cut a wire, right? Let's say you're an electric and you want to cut a wire. What are you gonna use? You're gonna use a hammer. Let's say you use a hammer and you keep hammering the wire and you work your ass off to cut the wire. It's not gonna work, right? You're gonna sure, if you just keep hammering on it and beating it, you're gonna cause a lot of noise, a lot of mess. Maybe you will eventually cut it, but what is that? A lot of work and a lot of chaos to just to cut wire. You're working hard, but you're using the wrong method. Instead of that, why don't you use a cutter, right? The cutter, just like that, one click, bam, the wire has been cut just easily, right? So that's what I'm talking about. Use the hard work and discipline on the right things. Like, you have depression and anxiety. Maybe you have depression and anxiety. Maybe you don't have depression and anxiety. Maybe it is, I don't know, your environment, something else is making it impossible for you to succeed at that task. Make sure you find what is the cause. Make sure you find what is the cause. If you have been trying for months and years and it's not working, that means there's something wrong. Maybe you're using a wrong method. Maybe there is something wrong with your mental health. Maybe it's your environment. Maybe just find out what is the cause and then work on fixing that. Work your ass off to fix that thing, and then after you fix that, see if things has improved. And to be honest, working on your mental health, if you took this test and if you find out that you have bad mental health, this is something needs to be fixed. Even if you're not interested in business and success, this must be improved, because this is your life, right? Anxiety and depression is fucking that's fucked up, man. You must fix it, all right? Because that's just gonna fuck up your life. Most of us don't take our mental health seriously. We just think mental health, it's mental health, I know it's important, but we don't really care that much, especially kids, teenagers and young adults. They don't care about mental health. They don't even care about their health. They don't go to the gym, they eat junk shit and all that. They think they take it for granted. They take their health for granted, right? Until they get older and they realize what the fuck was I doing? It's really affecting you in the long run. It's gonna fuck up your life, all right? So like I said, the link in the description. Go check your mental health, see if you have the if you have a problem with your mental health. All right? See you soon.